Hello, welcome to today's episode of Marriage Conflicts. Today we are going to be handling infidelity in marriage, how to identify and handle a cheating spouse. Remember, I am Juliet of OwenHampo. Before I begin, I want you to hold one thing dear to yourself. Just one thing I want you to take home from today's topic is you should never allow disagreement to deny yourself the fun and enjoyment in marriage. I hope you got that. Never allow disagreement to deny yourself the fun and enjoyment in marriage. Now let's dive into the topic. Often than not, infidelity in relationship is highly subjective to individuals. It's not everyone that are that practice infidelity in marriage. Not every man or every woman who are married cheats on their spouse. This means that no matter the situation a person finds him or herself, he or she will never concur to cheating. This infidelity in marriage, this matter is a very difficult issue to handle. Why is it? Because it is a thriving matter in the society. So many people, so many couple who are married cannot beat their chest now and say that they are faithful to their spouse, even though there are couple whom are very faithful to their spouse. Infidelity in marriage have caused a lot of issues in relationships or in marriage. It leads some couple to give themselves a very difficult injury for them to survive with. It has also led to some couples killing themselves simply because they found out that their spouse is cheating on them. Now I'll give you an instance of one that happened recently within my area. One lady came knocking at my gate she was desperately in need of speaking with me. So when we let her in, she began to narrate to me how she found out that her husband was cheating. After she told me all the stories, and to crown it all, she told me that her husband neither provide for her nor their children. He has never given them money to buy anything or take care of their needs for the past 3 years. But she found out that her husband have been feeding his side chick, the person he's cheating on her with. He has been feeding her, clothing her, paying her rent, and recently got her a phone. This lady couldn't take it anymore. She needed to confide in someone. After she had spoken to me about it, she told me that she was going to leave the marriage. And once she left my house, she was going to pack her things. Well, this lady was so calm about her decision. You know that some other ladies might be rash with their decision. This is just one of the many examples of what infidelity can cause marriages. The suspicious feeling of being cheated on is one of the worst feelings in the world. It even have a hunch that an affair is still ongoing can send one to an early grave. You know how you feel when your spouse is cheating on you? That is what I'm trying to explain. Now, infidelity is it didn't start today. It's not a matter that just emanated maybe this year, last year, or last 2 years. It has been ongoing. Even in the Bible, there are cases of infidelity. You can even cite Abraham. sleeping with his wife's maid. When you feel your spouse is cheating on you, there are so many things you can do. Just as my neighbor came to confide in me, you seek a go-to person, someone whom you can confide in and trust the person with your life challenges. Every married woman must have a go-to person because we can, from our analysis, we can say that the cheating is more on the side of men than women. Even though men have a certain shock absorber to absorb majority of what comes out of their marriage than their counterparts. That is why I suggest that every married woman should have a go-to person. This go-to person is someone who pays attentive listening to every details you give. The person is not supposed to be judgmental or one-sided with giving you a final decision. For me, my go-to person is our Lord Jesus Christ. Even though I have some of my relatives whom I can confide in. For you, who is your go-to person? You have to ask yourself this question. Who is your go-to person? It can be your sisters, your brother, your parents, your friend, your relative, a therapist, a marriage counselor, a priest. Who is your go-to person? The very first person you run to in a severe or difficult situation. Someone whom is not sentiment of your life. If you are in doubt of your spouse fidelity, you can go to the person. But first, you should confront your spouse about it. You should have a peaceful dialogue with your spouse about you being suspicious of him or her. It is if the result of your dialogue is not favorable, then you can seek advice from a reasonable person. How to know a cheating spouse? I'm just going to give you not it's a generalized terms. How to know a cheating spouse? Number one, constant late nights. When your spouse is constantly coming back late at night, when you know that he's not being delayed because of work, but he comes back very late at night and most times wrecking another person's signature scent. Not ready to make any big joint purchases with you. When the person is not interested in buying or getting any item together with you. For instance, buying a land that both of your names will be written on the receipt, on the land document. The person is usually forgetful. He doesn't remember most of the your anniversaries that's supposed to be in the family. He doesn't remember your birthday, your children's birthday, your wedding anniversary, so many things. Or sometimes you people have a discussion today and tomorrow he has forgotten about it. Or maybe there are certain issues that need to be taken care of in the home, and the person tends to forget about it. Another one is he goes everywhere with his or her phone, even to the bathroom. When your spouse is going everywhere with his or her phone, you have to figure out what is going on. Constantly texting messages and deleting. They are buying you a lot of gifts to cover up for the stench of guilt. That does not mean that your spouse cannot get you a lot of gifts. But there are people who love to give. In fact, giving is paramount in every relationship, especially in marriage. It is paramount no matter how little you give. But sometimes the cheating spouse feels guilty of what him or her is doing to you, and him or her feels like getting you something, assuming he had certain kind of enjoyment with his or her side chick. He will decide to get you something depending on what kind of enjoyment they had, just to appeal to your conscience unknowingly to you. They suddenly become focused on their appearance. What matters to them most is how they look, because of course they want to appear good before the person they are cheating on you with. They suddenly change underwear appearances constantly. They can even change on their bed trick, because of course they are exploiting their exploiting themselves sexually with whomever person they are cheating on you with. Instant withdrawal from you, their spouse. They always have mood swing or angry at you for no just reason, for no just cause. At every minute, their mood is swinging from this to that. You have to look into it. You begin to have a weird guts, begin to feel somehow, maybe your heart to be beating faster than usual whenever you're around them or whenever they are not around you, about your spouse. You know, their debit cards becomes busy every time, and they hide their details because they wouldn't want you to know how much they spend and on what they are spending the money at. Loss of sexual interest. Most times they don't want to have sexual relationship with you because of course they are getting enough of it outside the marriage. They can keep away from work or colleague. They try hiding you hiding you from things happening in the office. Maybe they are throwing a party in their office, and you as the wife is supposed to be at that party. They try to hide it from you so that you wouldn't get a hint of what is going on maybe at the office. Yes, even when the person they are cheating on you with is not in the office. They try to hide because most times colleagues tend to know what is going on with individuals at every point in time. They are suddenly unreachable. Sometimes you call them, you can't reach them. They tell you one story or another. You just really need to look into what is going on in their life. The list goes on, but we are going to stop here. Now, I want you to know that some cheating spouse can perfectly cover up for years without their partner knowing or having a hint about their cheating lifestyle. Some are very smart, and if you are a well-spirited partner, you can always sense a slightest change, no matter how tiny or how very intelligent your spouse plays in covering his cheating lifestyle. Do you know that if you are well spirited and, of course, haven't cheated on your partner, you could be shown in your dreams whom your spouse is cheating with or when your spouse is cheating? That doesn't mean that every dream is real. It is also possible that you carried over your your daily thinking as a scene to be played out for you in your dream. Let me ask you one pertinent question. How do you think is the best way to help a cheating spouse to stop? Or how do you think you can handle a cheating spouse? One, commit your family into the hands of God because there is nothing God cannot do. Two, get tested for every form of infection without his knowledge first. It's not as if both of you are not going to run the test. But for the meantime, you have to go and run a test for yourself first. Be sure you're safe. Be sure you are safe or you are not safe before you can ask your spouse to go and run a test alone or with you. It depends on the outcome of the test. Be in control of your emotions. Until he acknowledges his mistakes, don't throw his or her sins at his face. You don't throw their sins at their face. You have to take control of your emotion. After you have peacefully discussed about it with your spouse, sometimes it might be apologetic, some spouse might be defensive. Either way, you have to take hold of your emotions. Ascertain all the truth and gather your facts before you have a dialogue with him or her. Be sure you have every detail at the tip of your finger before you dive into the dialogue aspect of it. Direct all attention to yourself and your children in case your spouse is defensive and wouldn't want to change. Keep yourself and be attractive to him always. Finally, don't confront the other person, the person your spouse is cheating on you with. Don't confront him or her. You have no business with the person. Confront your spouse with verifiable evidence. I've talked about that. Be open-hearted. If he or she apologizes and show repentance, be open-hearted. Welcome him with an open arms. Engage in self-rewarding activities and continue to live your life in peace if him or she truly apologizes and repents. I hope you enjoy today's episode. Remember, our topic is infidelity in marriage and how to handle a cheating spouse. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.